Common Council for Tuesday, November 4th. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Mr. Schwartz, if you will lead us this evening.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Lees, will you call the roll?
Mr. Boyce.
Present.
Mr. Davis.
Present.
Mr. Elliott.
Present.
Mr. Johnson.
Present.
Mr. Peterson.
Present.
Mr. Schwartz.
Present.
Mr. Smith.
Present.
Mr. Thurston.
Present.
Ms. Wild.
Present.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll move on to the approval of the executive session memorandum from October 21st, 2025.
So approved. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the executive session memorandum from October 21st, 2025. This is a hand vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 9-0. Approval of the minutes from October 21st, 2025.
So approved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from October 21st, 2025. This is also a hand vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7 and
2 abstentions.
2 abstentions? Okay. All right. 7 in favor, 2 abstentions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Approval of the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. This is also a hand vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 9-0. Petitions or comments by citizens who are present. I have one card, and if anyone else would like to speak, please fill out a card and then bring it up to the clerk's desk. Mr. Clifford, if you would like to please approach, and we'll give you 3 minutes if you'll please state your name and your address.
Hello, my name's Brian Clifford. I live at 6939 Trophy Lane. I should have written this out. I have a tendency to jump around, and I just got back from the dentist, so I apologize, but I'll try to. This is sort of regarding the Janus development that is going in near where I live. We've had meetings with the developer. We had a meeting with the developer about 2 weeks ago because we had some questions, and I had read the QAP for the forward to 2026 to 2027, and I'm just going to read a little bit from that real quick because that was what concerned me. And it says, an application will receive up to 2 points if the applicant commits to implementing low-barrier tenant screening to minimize the impact of criminal background on a household's ability to secure housing. Management must implement case-by-case criminal screening in accordance with IHCDA best practice recommendations. 1 point if the tenant selection plan does not screen applicants based on misdemeanors, and 1 point if the tenant selection plan does not screen applicants for felonies older than 5 years. Felonies within the past 5 years may be considered only for offenses related to violent crimes, arson, or manufacturing methamphetamine. Exceptions are the plan may screen out individuals with an active requirement to register as a sex offender under a state sex offender registration program, regardless of date of conviction. Projects receiving project-based vouchers must screen out, without the opportunity for case-by-case review, applicants with convictions related to manufacturing methamphetamine in federally assisted housing or subject to lifetime sex offender registration. So I read that before the meeting 2 weeks ago. I brought it up to the developer just to see whether, because you can agree or not agree on certain things in there and you get points. So I just said, did you agree to it or not? And they said they went for the full points, so they agreed to not screen. And now I have concerns because that, not only for my neighborhood, but also because the people that project was designed for are a little more vulnerable. So I didn't think that was the best thing to mix there, but anyway, it might be too far beyond to change anything, but I would just hope that going forward, if any projects like that come through, maybe that would be asked about, because it's concerning to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do I say anything? Okay. Those are not our requirements. I mean,
Correct, yeah,
that
those-
was not something that the city of Noblesville required. That's part of that whole process.
Correct. These are for, as I understand, for the state credits that, when they talk about when the gentleman mentions the Janus development, you'll recall the development that's before you for zoning, which was for a multifamily component to be housed in, near the current Janus development area. They applied for state credits, and that's part of the application process, is including that. And so, obviously, public safety is a concern for all of us, and our public safety officials stay on top of that, but we don't control sort of that screening process for anybody in any other neighborhood, but it's certainly something we could ask about in the future.
So, thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seeing no one else come forward, we will move on to council committee reports. The Downtown District Committee, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. The Downtown District and Parks Committee met on Friday, October 31st. We had one person in attendance who chose to show up in a costume. So we did celebrate Halloween. We began the meeting by talking about Embrace Downtown. Obviously, this is the first meeting since that second open house. So there was a lot of positive feedback, both from the community at that open house, but then also shared again at our committee meeting about Embrace Downtown and what that looks like going forward. The next steps on timeline and financing, it will go out to bid in early December, and they were already talking about what steps they are undertaking to plan for that project starting next year. They're obviously working pretty close with the county, mirroring the fact that they are also getting ready to undergo an expansion of their building. So there will be a lot going on downtown next year, but they, both the county and the city are working well together on that. We also touched on a few parks events. They had Halloween, which was very successful. They talked through a few of their capital projects that they're working on. The sign at Federal Hill is up. I went by and saw that on the corner of Logan and 19. And then they were also talking about planning for the Dillon Park playground and splash pad improvements next year, and how to navigate all the calendars around football and the warmer months, but getting that project done. So rest assured that was top of mind as well. Each stakeholder shared some of the events that were coming up. I'm sure that Mr. Johnson will share about the turkey trot later, but he made sure to give that a shout out, as that's coming later this month. And then the only other thing that I will touch on is that our street department commissioner, Patty Johnson, talked about leaf collection and the fact that that's underway and one of the most popular programs here in Noblesville. But that is underway now and will continue until the leaves freeze.
Great. Any questions, Mr. Smith? Seeing none, we'll move on to the Finance Committee and Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Madam President. We met October 30th. Pete Schwartz, Aaron Smith, Todd Thurston, and myself. Amy Smith went over an ordinance with us for bond authorization for Edward Rose at Hyde Park. Amy also discussed a resolution for a TIF allocation area at Hyde Park. And Amy discussed another ordinance, bond authorization for Avenza at Hyde Park. And we finished it up with Amy talking to us about another ordinance for bond authorization village at Hyde Park. That and the claims docket comes to the council with a favorable recommendation.
Great. Any questions of Mr. Davis in the Finance Committee?
Madam President,
Mr. Thurston?
make a motion to approve the claims as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the claims as submitted. This is a hand vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 9-0. Great. Moving on to previously discussed ordinances.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry, a little slow here, but I just want to thank Mr. Clifford for going through a meeting with that developer, sitting down and going through that application. I really appreciate that, and looking out for your community and just because those credits get approved and they go for the maximum points, you still have the opportunity to influence how they actually do the screening. So I would encourage you to stay in touch with that developer. And I just want to say thank you, and sorry, it's a little slow getting out of order here.
Right. Okay. Now can I move on?
I'm done. For now.
Okay. Council to consider ordinance number 38-10-25, an ordinance approving an additional appropriation request for firefighter safety equipment. Mr. McDonald.
Madam President, members of the council, Tom McDonald, Deputy Financial Officer. So this is a request to support the fire department's purchase of self-contained breathing apparatuses. Their current equipment is at the end of its life cycle. The purchase will be made from two funds that are dedicated for these types of costs, the Fire Cumulative Capital Fund and the Cumulative Capital Development Fund. We had brought this before you during the 2026 budget development process to finance over 5 years through the capital financing program, but by advancing this as a upfront purchase, we'll avoid around $150,000 in interest costs. So we last brought this to you at the October 21st council meeting, and there have been no updates since then, except that the purchase request went through the Board of Public Works and Safety this morning.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. McDonald? Mr. Boyce. You.
I've been called
Mark.
worse.
Right.
No, just for those of you who are not on the Public Safety Committee and also for the public, these also, we're having some problems with our current scuba, and a lot of people are getting burns. A lot of our firefighters are getting burns, and so around the face, they're not exactly sealing like they should. So this is really important, not just for replacement of normal, but also for their safety. So just wanted to mention that.
Thank you very much.
Madam President,
Yes.
just one other note on the equipment as well. It is also, the equipment that we're requesting to purchase with this is interchangeable with other county equipment. And so right now, when our team gets called on, our equipment does not interact with the other safety equipment in the county. So this will allow us to provide additional services when we're on call and be able to quickly switch out and act as safety crew backup.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay. This is a matter for public hearing, so I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing for ordinance 38-10-25.
Madam President,
Mr. Davis?
seeing nobody come forward, I move to close the public hearing for ordinance number 38-10-25.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to close the public hearing for ordinance number 38-10-25. This is a hand vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 9-0.
Madam President,
Mr. Davis?
I move to approve ordinance number 38-10-25.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 38-10-25 as presented. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Lees?
Mr. Boyce?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Elliott?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Peterson?
Aye.
Mr. Schwartz?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Thurston?
Aye.
Ms. Wise?
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 nay, the ordinance is approved.
New ordinances for discussion. Council to consider ordinance number 39-11-25, an ordinance for a change of zoning from County Zoning District A-2S Agricultural Subdivision to R3 Moderate to High Density Single Family Residential for approximately 99 acres in the 1500 or 15,000 to 15,400 block of East 156th Street, South Side. And we're going to read the next one with this as well. Council to consider ordinance number 40-11-25, an ordinance for a change of zoning from R3 Moderate to High Density Single Family Residential to R3/PD Residential Plan Development for approximately 99 acres to be known as Encore at Linden Walk in the 15,000 to 15,400 block of East 156th Street, South Side.
Move to introduce both ordinances.
Second.
Ms. Stephens?
Thank you, Madam President, councilors. The change of zoning and PD ordinance and preliminary development plan applications under considerations affect 5 parcels of approximately 99 acres at the southeast corner of the intersection of Prairie Baptist Road and 156th Street. 1 parcel is improved with an agricultural-related accessory structure. To the east of the subject site are parcels zoned in Wayne Township, developed with single-family residential. To the north and the west of the site is undeveloped property zoned R5 PD within the the Gatewood Lakes Plan Development, approved for townhomes and two-family dwellings. And then the site's southern boundaries are completely adjacent to undeveloped property, also included in the Gatewood Lakes area zoned R5 PD, and that southern area is zoned for single-family dwellings. The applicant is requesting a change of zoning from Hamilton County Agriculture Subdivision Zoning District A2S to R3, moderate to high-density, single-family residential. Should be noted that the change of zoning would take effect only upon annexation into the Noblesville corporate boundaries. The companion application to the change of zoning is the adoption of the preliminary development plan. This is the applicant's concept plan. The 210-lot development would be known as Encore at Linden Walk. The development of single-family detached dwellings, age-restricted to 55+, would be accessed from both 156th Street and Prairie Baptist Road with no proposed access through the Gatewood Lakes development to the west or to the south. Private development amenities include a community clubhouse, swimming pool, sports courts, and approximately 1 mile of internal trails. The applicant additionally requested a number of waivers to the bulk standards of the R3 zoning district, to landscaping requirements and site development requirements of the UDO, and that is highlighted in the staff report, pages 4, 5, and 6 that was forwarded for your review. The project does come with favorable recommendation out of the October 27th Plan Commission hearing, and the applicant is available to answer any questions and also further discuss the rental commitments that were made.
Any questions of Ms. Simmons? Yep, yes, Mr. Boyce.
Is there going to be any, is the developer putting anything, I know we said it's 55+, is there going to be any HOA rules or any rules that are going to be put forth with that stated?
That is covered in the rental
It is in
commitments,
the-
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, since Mr. Schenover was just standing up, we'll let you come up and share with us your information. Name, address, please.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. For the record, Jim Schenover, attorney with the law firm of Nelson and Frankenberg with offices in Carmel. I am representing the applicant, David Weekly Homes. Tonight, on behalf of David Weekly Homes is Lindsay Phipps and Ed Freeman, also our project engineers from Y Engineers, Kevin Sumner and Garrett Illa. To answer that first question, Mr. Boyce, yes, the rental commitments that we're referring to that are in your brochure also include the HOPA age-restricted requirements as well. And I can put that highlighted portion on the screen if you want, but it is included in there because you had brought up the HOPA restriction at our introduction meeting. And then when we went through the Plan Commission process, Mr. Thurston pointed out that we should add the 15% cap limit as well. So both of those have been included in the commitments that are included in your brochure. Another couple just quick comments, just very quick comments, and I appreciate Amy's detailed explanation. Again, this is an age-restricted for-sale, single-family detached residential subdivision. The Weekly team has worked closely with planning staff and Sarah's office to incorporate their ideas and suggestions into this project, and we appreciate the time they provided. We had our neighborhood meeting on October 9th. Nobody from the public attended. We had our ARB meeting on October 15th and made the recommended changes that the ARB had proposed and as part of the package that is before you tonight. Then on October 22nd, we had our Plan Commission meeting. No one from the public attended, and as Amy described, we received a unanimous Plan Commission recommendation. And also, if approved, we would be following up fairly immediately and filing the annexation request. So just wanted to summarize that, but if you need more detail about the proposal or have any additional questions of us, we're here to respond to those. Thank you.
Yes, Mr.
Quick question. We had discussed in the ARB meeting if the HOPA rules and the rental restrictions were all at conflict. I don't know if you had a chance to confirm that.
We did review that, and they are not in conflict, and if memory serves correct, I believe I may have sent an email to Mr. Hughes and staff on that issue, but there's no conflict.
Okay.
Other questions, comments? Yes, Mr. Smith.
Quick question. I saw in the revised documents that there's an 80% commitment to front porches. This is a real in-the-weeds question, but I saw a few of the renderings that have what I would define as like a stoop. Does that qualify under that 80%, or would that be in those 20%?
Yes, the Exhibit C to the PD ordinance, which you're referring to under these categories, there'll be 80% of the homes will have front porches, and when they have front porches, it's required to be 6 feet in depth. But that excludes the situation where a stoop or an entryway. But the bottom line is 80% have to have a front porch 6 feet in depth.
Awesome. Thanks for doing that. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much. Yes, Mr. Boyce.
Going, this is kind of similar to your Maryland Woods, I believe. How is Maryland Woods doing?
Introduce someone from the David Weekley team who will be more knowledgeable about that than I am. I'm not privy
I
to their
believe it
trade
is at least, I mean,
secrets.
I would,
so.
yeah.
Ed Freeman, David Weekley Homes, 9310 North Meridian Street. To answer your question, it's going well. We opened, I believe, for sales in, goodness gracious, it's probably been almost a year. And our first two sections, 1A and 1B, are going very well. I think on maybe the month of February and March, we might have had our best sales in this market since we moved here in 2011, so through that community. So it's been going well. I know that the developer is working on, I think, Section 2 right now, which we're excited to get more of those lots. And then I believe within the next year to 18 months, we'll hopefully start Section 3, which would be the remainder of the lots. So, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Other questions or
I just
comments?
wanted to comment too, back to Mr. Smith's comments, in the ARB meeting, we've had some concerns with the anti-monotony rules, and that got clarified, and I appreciate that this builder went with a more restrictive definition of anti-monotony. I appreciate that you did that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Maybe a quick one.
Yeah.
Can you or someone from David Weekley speak to sod packages? I know that driving through Maryland Woods, that's kind of a concern right now for residents, so I would love for someone to speak to that.
I must defer again.
Okay. Sorry, I know you just sat down, but it looks like the community is partially sodded in Maryland Woods. I know that I'm giving you a comparison neighborhood, but I didn't know if that was standard.
And to be totally honest, when it comes to the actual construction of the sod and landscaping and so forth, I have a very small role in that, mostly through just when we go through and get our projects approved. I'm not sure if that's a developer commitment or if that's actually on the actual homes. If it's on the homes, then I certainly will talk to our project manager to get that looked into. If it's the actual developer, I will certainly call the developer tomorrow morning, but
Okay.
I'll get you an answer to that question.
Awesome.
Here in the next 24 hours.
Thank you very much. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
Okay. Okay. Ready?
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Davis.
I move to approve ordinances number 39-11-25 and number 40-11-25.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinances number 39-11-25 and number 40-11-25 as presented. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Lees.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Elliott?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Peterson?
Aye.
Mr. Schwartz?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Thurston?
Aye.
Mr. Boyce?
Aye.
Ms. Wiles?
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 nay, the ordinances are approved.
Thank you. We appreciate it very much, and also appreciate all the time staff spent with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Council to consider ordinance number 41-11-25, an ordinance amending and restating ordinance number 05-2-25, authorizing the issuance of the City of Noblesville, Indiana, taxable economic development revenue bonds for 2025 for Link at Hyde Park, the Edward Rose project.
Good evening.
Move to introduce.
Second.
Good evening, Mrs. Smith.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Before jumping into that ordinance, I do have Steve Ball with MAB Capital and his counsel, John Kirkwood from Faker Drinker, here to give a brief update on the project.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So we'll hear from Mr. Ball first and then go through these other items.
Yes, is that
Correct?
okay?
Great.
Awesome.
Wonderful. So Mr. Ball, state your name and address, please.
Yep. Good evening, council. For the record, Steve Ball, offices at 15240 Endeavor Drive, president of MAB Capital Investments and Bedrock Builders. Speaking with Amy, we realized that there's a few council members here that were not in place a few years ago when Hyde Park kind of kicked off in 2021, 2022 timeframe. So just some quick references. Approximately 275 acres just west of Hamilton Town Center. It was a great piece of property, but had a lot of challenges to overcome, both with infrastructure, water, sewer, drainage. Sand Creek runs right through the middle of the property, and so there were a lot of floodplain issues. So we had a vision of what we wanted to try to do out there, and approached the city and started working with them on that. Our vision was largely a mixed-use project, live, work, and play. Some of the goals that we had when we worked with the city in 21-22 were we wanted to support existing businesses within Hamilton Town Center. I think if Hamilton Town Center were built today, it would probably look a lot different, would have some residential components in it. I don't think anybody's talking about doing anything to Hamilton Town Center, so the next best option was maybe to introduce some housing options nearby to create that live, work, play. We also wanted to help the city attract companies to the corporate campus. A lot of times companies would ask when they were looking to relocate here, where our employees could live, and so we wanted to create an option for that. We also wanted to kind of take lemons and make lemonade with Sand Creek going through the middle. With some of the work that we did out there, we wanted to come back and create a passive park along the Sand Creek corridor. Passive in the sense of mostly trails and benches and maybe some interpretive signing of some of the plantings and things out there. And then finally, the connection of 141st Street with the bridge over Sand Creek. That was kind of the last missing infrastructure piece within the corporate campus. And so we put the agreement together with the city in 2022. That agreement basically called for us to make certain infrastructure investments, some of which I just detailed out. And by doing so, then that would allow us to bring projects online and create tax increment. Our total investment, MAB's investment out here is going to be around 48 million by the time everything is complete. As far as the status of where we're at on different infrastructure needs, this is kind of the latest as of, I believe it was October of this year. Cut and fill activities to help increase developable ground. We're 100% complete with that. The 141st Street connection and Sand Creek Bridge, we are 40%. We have done extensions of 141st, both on the east and the west sides of Sand Creek to accommodate two of the projects that I'll be talking about in a few minutes. The bridge is kind of that last piece. And frankly, that's kind of the lion's share of what we still have left to do. We have the bridge approved from the standpoint of the drawings are in place, and those have been largely signed off with the city. I think there's still some things, final approval, but the big thing there is we need an approval from FEMA, and we plan on applying for that here in the next probably 60 days, and that approval will probably take about a year. So right now, we're looking at starting that bridge, trying to start that about a year from now. People in the bridge construction world will tell you that winter is a good time to build a bridge, so timing should work out well. Our commitment to the city is to have that open by December 31st of 2027, and assuming that permit comes back okay, we should be fine there. The actual construction shouldn't take more than 6 to 7 months. Regional detention, well, I skipped over park improvements. Park improvements are largely done. We still have some trails north of 141st Street that we're trying to get in. The pavement plants are starting to close, typically around Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we're working hard to get those last trails approved, and I can show you that here in just a minute. Regional detention, 100% complete. Earthwork, 100% complete. Water lines, 100% complete. Sanitary regional lift station and skipping down below to the sanitary sewer lines, those are mostly complete. We just, both lift stations within Hyde Park are up and operational. We just have some, install a fence and some landscaping and the drive just to kind of clean those up, but they are up and ready. And then the legal drain reconstruction is also 100% complete. So basically that work that we've been doing the last couple years is what allowed these different projects to come online. Working down, many of you that are familiar with the area, the J.C. Hart project here started, and actually we'll have people moving in as early as late this year, early next year. That's 358 units over 2 phases. The second phase, the infrastructure is going in. Across the street, the Edward Rose and Sons Company, these are 3 buildings, each 4 stories, served with elevators. That is also under construction. If you drive out there, it's a little hard to see just because they're still working with their own infrastructure on the project, curbs and things like that. They'll be starting foundation work very soon, if not already have, and then should start to see some vertical construction on that later this year or certainly into next year. Jumping back across the street, we've got Trinitas with Avanza. Trinitas is out of Lafayette, Indiana, mostly doing townhomes and some duplexes, and their project encompasses both sides of the pond that we installed. They had their pre-con meeting with the city about 30 days ago and actually started moving equipment in on site this week. So they're starting out there. We've got a small retail, a commercial node here on the corner, in the commercial in front of the Edward Rose project. You know, typically the commercial people, they want to see some of the rooftops go up, so the commercial is kind of programmed for a few years from now, but we are starting to get some calls with activity in the area. This north parcel right here is a local dentist. He has a current practice in Hamilton Town Center, and he was eager from the get-go to be involved in Hyde Park. So again, if you drive out there, you can see some steel being erected. That's his building. Hopes to move in probably in February of this next year. Empire Development over off of Maryland Road and 141st Street. They are a developer out of the Scottsdale, Arizona area, mostly duplexes and some standalone units. Both the villages at Hyde Park and Avanza are both gated communities by Trinitas and Empire. Up here we have Fisher Homes introducing for sale townhomes. Again, we worked with them and the city. That's been a particularly challenging parcel just because of access. Originally, we tried to access that off of Campus Parkway, and that just was proving to be more difficult, with Hamilton County and trying to protect, lack of not wanting additional curb cuts along Campus Parkway. So we worked with the city to bring up an access road from 141st Street up into this area. Again, that's under construction right now, and they should be ready to sell out there probably in the spring of 2026. And actually, this drive off of 141st Street is a really nice drive. It's kind of long, tried to maintain as many trees as we could up there, and that's coming along nicely. The last projects are here at the southwest and northwest corners of Campus Parkway and Bowdoin. That's kind of the main project. That's Berkla Investment Group, Tony Berkla. He is a local Noblesville resident. Those 2 parcels in particular, as well as some of the other things within Hyde Park, kind of got caught in this FEMA quagmire of permitting. We had over 60 permits within Hyde Park development to get what the vision that you see and what we've started. And so those particular parcels, we needed to get a permit that we didn't think we were going to need. FEMA said we did, and so we started that process about 15 months ago. And I'm happy to say that we got that permit in September of this year. So hopefully we can get those two back on track. Tony and his team, both the architect and the engineer, are working hard on that. That was actually filed, the detailed development plan with the city of Noblesville, but I think that's got some age on it, and so that may need to get refiled. But things are starting to pick up on that as well. So just again, some high-level highlights. I mentioned we had about 60 permits out here. We moved about 1.2 million cubic yards of dirt. That's a lot. To try to put that in some perspective, it's about a football field, the size of a football field, roughly 560 feet tall, which is the size of the Washington Monument. So that's why it's taken us a few years to get to the point where we're at now, but things are going really well out there. We think we're well ahead of schedule. We originally saw this as a 10-year plan, and we think it's probably more in the seven-year now. The total investment, capital investment, I mentioned the $48 million earlier from MAB. Our original projections at Hyde Park with the different projects that I've described here was around 142 to 150 million, and I'm happy to say that I think we're probably going to double that. I think we're probably going to be somewhere in the 300 to 350 million dollar range. So things are going really good out there. Again, this was set up where we would put all this infrastructure in, and then again create the projects, and then start to work on the tax increments, which are some of the things that are in front of you tonight. So happy to answer any questions. Again, we appreciate the city's involvement, the mayor's office and economic development team and engineering and planning. I think anybody around here has heard Hyde Park for years and years and years, and so it's just nice to see it start to come to fruition. I would use the hand in glove analogy, but Jonathan would come after me. So, but anyway, it's been a great relationship, super excited, and certainly happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well played, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes,
So
Mr. Peterson.
this was the first really ambitious project I saw when I got on council 100 years ago, it feels like. And
Does.
and it really pushed, in the Plan Commission and ARB, it pushed the limits of what we had done, because this is more urban than suburban. And I appreciate that every project you brought in has just made this a little better and a little better. And it's really been a great partnership that you reinforce this vision with each project.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we agree. I mean, I know that the way this was originally set up was so that each project would come before, Plan Commission and Council. Again, when we put this in place years ago, we put some pretty stout precedent images in place. And so we did our best as we brought those projects through to make sure that we were, adhering to the original images that came with the vision. So.
Wonderful. Other questions or comments?
Just
Mr.
a quick
Smith.
comment. I appreciate you going through and explaining all of those components of this project.
Sure.
There are times that I know all of us get asked why the city supports the projects that we do, and for the public to be able to know that they'll get a park out of this and a bridge, I think that makes a difference when they're able to see like actual tangible things that come to their community outside of the added tax base.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working with Savannah and Charlie and the Parks Department for some of the features out here, again, super excited to have that put in place.
Yeah, that's great. Anyone else? Thank you very much.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Now it's the Amy Smith Show.
Where were we?
Okay, so we have introduced this ordinance.
Yes, we
You
have.
would like to talk a little bit more about?
Yes, thank
what's in
you
there.
very
Thank
much.
you.
So the original ordinance approved back in March contemplated financing for only the first phase of this project with a bond amount not to exceed $5 million. However, when financing was approved, Edward Rose advised MAB that they were considering completing Phase 1 and 2 simultaneously. Additionally, there was ongoing negotiations with the taxpayer agreement due to the property tax reform through SB 1. That has been finalized, and they have agreed to the taxpayer agreement. So they have just decided to go ahead and do both phases at one time. The new bond amount will be for an amount not to exceed $7.5 million, for an interest rate not to exceed 8%, and for a term of 25 years. This is in the Hyde Park allocation area, and tax increment will be pledged to this project. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, or
Any-
any additional questions you may have of them.
Any questions, Mrs. Smith, on this one?
No questions, but just for the public, this went through Finance Committee and we talked about all three of these projects. I know that Mr. Davis already said that, but we
Yes, sorry.
went deep into all of these.
It also went to Economic Development Commission to approve a resolution authorizing and approving the bonds and the project report.
Thank you. And I'm clarifying, we will vote on these at our next meeting, correct?
Correct.
Yes, yes,
That's correct.
great. Okay, any other questions on this one? We will move on to council to consider ordinance number 42-11-25, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a taxable economic development revenue bond for Avenza at Hyde Park, Trinitas project.
Move to introduce.
Second.
Mrs. Smith?
This project, Mr. Ball touched on, it is approximately 237 units with 70 duplexes and 167 townhomes. This is a developer purchase bond in an amount not to exceed $7 million, interest rate not to exceed 8%, a term of 25 years. A separate allocation area within Hyde Park Economic Development Area will be created. That will be before you later this evening. And we will pledge tax increment to the debt service payments. This also went to the Economic Development Commission, and they approved the resolution and project report. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions, Mrs. Smith, on this one? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the next one. Council to consider ordinance number 43-11-25, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a taxable economic development bond for the village at Hyde Park Empire Project.
Move to introduce.
Second.
Mrs. Smith?
Mr. Ball discussed this project earlier, so I'm just going to jump right in. This is a developer purchase bond for an amount not to exceed $7.5 million with a rate not to exceed 8% for a term of no longer than 25 years. Again, this will also have an allocation area created for the purpose of pledging tax increment to the debt service payments. This also went to Economic Development Commission, and they approved the resolution and project report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions on this one? Okay. Thank you very much. We'll move on to miscellaneous item number 1. Council to consider resolution RC-40-25, a resolution approving, 1, a declaratory resolution and amended economic development plan of the Noblesville Redevelopment Commission establishing the Avanza and Village allocation areas at Hyde Park, and 2, the order of the Noblesville Plan Commission. Mrs. Smith?
Good evening. So as I mentioned earlier, new allocation areas are being created for the Avanza and Village projects. This resolution is one of multiple steps in setting up a new area. Currently, there is Hyde Park allocation area. You can see it spans this whole area. The allocation areas for each project will be pulled out. You can see the Avanza location is down here, and the Village location is right there. This has been to RDC and Plan Commission, and then it will go back to the RDC at their their December meeting. The increment from these areas will be pledged at 85%. And Mr. Davis did mention this was discussed in finance, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions of Mrs. Smith on this one?
Madam President,
Mr. Davis?
I move to approve resolution RC-40-25 as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution RC-40-25. This is a hand vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 9-0.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Council to consider resolution RC-39-25, a resolution approving property acquisition. Mr. Hughes?
Good evening, members of the council. John Hughes, City Attorney. We interrupt your previously scheduled Amy Smith programming to bring you the presentation of the Johns. With me tonight is Jonathan Burgo from the Utility Department in case you have any specific questions. We did discuss these items in executive session prior to your last meeting. And this is a resolution authorizing the acquisition of real estate. And as discussed in executive session, we are hoping to negotiate on these properties to come to a resolution that we're all happy with. The resolution explains what the projects are for. The Lusco Corporation has a number of these parcels that is desired to see if we can expand the footprint of our wastewater treatment plant over time. Not something we're going to do tomorrow, but we need to decide if we can get the land first. And then there's a property directly across from the wastewater treatment plant that we're interested in for operational purposes. And there's another parcel that's right on the Nickel Plate Trail that we're interested in expanding our park and trailhead assets there. Happy to answer any questions you have. Otherwise, I would request approval of this resolution.
Any questions from Mr. Hughes?
Madam President,
Mr. Davis?
I move to approve resolution RC-39-25.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution RC-39-25 as presented. This is a hand vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 9-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That comes to the end of our agenda, except for council comments. Yes, Mr. Elliott.
Sorry, my phone is blowing up because people are loving the scrimmage tonight at the new arena, which is fantastic. So a guy sent me a photo, and it was actually a video, so sorry for any interruption earlier. But probably 5 texts so far telling us how great it is, how great parking is, how easily accessible everything truly is. So we're really excited. Thanks to Fishers for building theirs first, so we could kind of look at what was working and what wasn't. I think that was a great benefit to us. So
Yeah, exciting night come Saturday night for the
Saturday
opening game
night,
of the
first
Boom.
home game.
Yeah.
If you don't have tickets, they're starting at only $16. So not bad.
Anyone else? Mrs. Peterson? Hello.
Mr. Smith and I had the chance to attend the AIM conference a couple weeks ago, and it was fascinating. It was a great conference. Obviously, the big topic was SB1, and I just want to thank the mayor's office and what we have done as a city to be prepared for this. I heard a lot of comments. They got to stop it. They got to do this. They got to do that. I was like, it's too late. And we've been preparing for it, and I really appreciate up to speed and hit the ground running. And that was kind of the theme, the big thing I took away from that conference. So, you want to add anything, Mr. Smith? Did you get anything out of it?
Yeah, that's great. No, but I mean, it really does, you mentioned it a little bit, but I know that we've got a lot of good members of our team. We, as a council, are really involved in the budget. Obviously, the mayor's office and the team here spends months of time planning that. And I'm always reminded of how good our team is once I go to other communities and see what struggles they're pushing through on there. So we do have it really good here.
Comments that I heard from both of you is that other communities talked about that they didn't know their members, their representatives at the State House. And I think we're fortunate that we have the relationships with Senator Baldwin and Representative Schunkweiler to be able to have good conversations about the impact and frank discussions about the impact that this is going to have, and where other communities do not have those kind of relationships. So again, we're very fortunate to have that. Mr. Boyce?
And the county.
And the county, right, yes. Okay, anything else?
Oh, one last thing. Delegation from Nova Prata, Brazil was here. It was the first business exchange between our sister city in Nova Prata, and it was a fantastic exchange. They were very busy the whole week. I want to give a special shout out to Sarah Davis, who really ran the show for the week. It was fantastic. We learned a lot from each other, so it was very beneficial.
Yes, thank you very much for remembering that. Yes, Mr.
Keeping
Johnson?
the basketball theme, thank you for the pass, Mr. Smith. The 18th annual Michael Triner Foundation Thanksgiving morning turkey trot from our downtown square. Google, look online, get registered, join over 2,000 of your closest friends on Thanksgiving morning for a stroll through the park and around through downtown. Thanks to the police department and the street department for their efforts in making that happen.
And if you run fast enough, you might go home with a pie.
Say again?
Just run fast, you might go home with a pie.
I
right?
don't see anyone here that are in
Iron Man over there,
That'll be running
the,
fast,
the
yes.
top 10 men or women finishers. As long as the kids come home from college cross country.
And I believe the Mayor's Youth Council, they collect food.
The Mayor's
That
Youth
there's-
Council the last several years has really stepped up. I'm working with them to help with the firefighters' food and toy drive by collecting canned goods morning of. The high school students really they get very involved and very excited with what's going on. And some even show up at 5 a.m. to help me set the course out. So that's even better.
Right,
So
yes.
thanks to all.
Again, another great example of why this community is such a special place to be, and so we're very fortunate to have everybody here.
Thank you.
And with that, we are adjourned.